Are you hungry? You want breakfast? Popped over the hill and they're all excited. Birdies! Birdie birds! Hey birdies!
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life. Times like this. Mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss.
Good morning, guys. It is another gorgeous day here on the Stoney Ridge farm, and today we're going to take you over and show you what we do for heat stress for our cattle. We're going to show you cows that are probably mildly heat stressed already. We've got some really hot days. It's been almost 100 degrees. Heat index well over 100, and I'm going to show you guys how I have to change my grazing program here on the farm in order to support these animals in these hot summer days. So let's go get busy, take care of the critters. All right, every day buddy gets a scoop. You ready? Good boy. Free. Buddy does not live in this kennel. Okay, guys, I want you to know that. Buddy roams freely on the farm. He goes in and out of this kennel. It's cooler here on these hot summer days on that cool concrete up underneath the shade. So Buddy's got a place that's 20 degrees cooler. He can go hang out. He can come and go as he pleases. Some people have been fussing at me saying I've been caging up the dog. If I have to cage him up, if we have some guests come or something like that and he's bothering us, yes, I'll put him up in his kennel. Otherwise, he just roams free. Oh, it's my possum brick. We got raccoons, man, eating my dog food. Let's go check on the chickens. Is looking awesome. We got an inch of rain last night. So cool. I'm gonna stop by and check on my layers and my new baby chicks here. And I just so happen to have some waffles. So we're gonna get waffle snacks. I give all my scrap food to my chickens. There we go. All right, so we've got a snake that's been invading the coop here. So far we're looking pretty good. We've got 4 of the medium-sized babies that are still with us, but it's hard for me to guard every one of these baby chicks against an attacker. They kind of do their own thing. Let me look in here and see what we've got going on. If we got any more babies hiding in here. I don't. It looks like we are missing. The other day we had a snake get into the coop here, and I don't know. I got rid of that snake, but there may be another one. Kind of a bummer. Pretty birds. Let's see. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4. Yeah, we've lost 2 of the little bitty ones. Guarantee you it's a snake. All right, let's go check on the big chickens. bearing pretty heavy on, you know, a lot of what I preach here on the farm is low impact, and riding one of these four-wheelers through the field is very, very low impact. However, even down here where the little tender shoots of grass are on the creek, this low impact is still tough on the land. So I'm kind of trying to drive in a different spot all the way around every single time I go, even when I go up through the pasture right here. And we're gonna come up onto our pastured meat birds here, and these are meat birds and layers, so they're a dual purpose bird and our egg mobile. These birds are out here doing pasture sanitation behind the cows. These chicks will just come running at me most of the time when I call them. It's pretty cool. I just popped over the hill and they're all excited. Birdies! Birdie birds! Hey birdies! Hey birdie birds! This is electric poultry netting. Right here, we'll just turn this off. Somebody's all grown up. You hear that? It's the first crow I've heard out of these new chickens. About every day I'll bring over, and this is flip-flop cowboy day, by the way. About every day I'll bring over a bucket of water just like this, and I'll take an empty bucket back, and that keeps the chickens watered over here. And everybody's probably thirsty. Got a little rain last night, put some water in there, didn't it, guys? This is a relatively inexpensive waterer. The feeders are over there. The chickens have free range all around in this area right here. And I also need to fix something before I fill that waterer. I can see that now. The goal here, this is an area of very, very sparse nutrition in the soil. And you can see wherever the chickens are, wherever they congregate, they're putting down a lot of that butt fertilizer that we like so much here on the farm. I'm actually gonna move this coop just a little bit to a new square. You can see they've kind of beaten this up. I'll move it here. I'll move it here, and I'll keep hopscotching it around in this paddock so that they fertilize the land appropriately. It's a little tough to move sometimes. I hear you. Right. There we go. Okay, now you can stop. There we go. See what I mean? It's kind of almost a dead spot right there, but all this will grow right back up, and that'll be the greenest spot in the whole pasture. I do this on the top of the hill on purpose, okay? We know that the manure and nutrient is gonna flow downhill, so we're up here on the peak, and all this good butt fertilizer will help to feed the land going that way, that way, that way, all the way down off the top of this hill. All right, there we go. Their little ramp, they like that little ramp. This is a chick cozy door. It closes at night, opens in the morning. Just that simple. Happy chickens. Hey dudes. We got 100 roosters out here. Out of 32 hens that hatched out, or 32 chickens that hatched out, I'm gonna say 60 or 70% of them are roosters. The roosters that's what makes the dinner table. The hens are what produces the eggs, and I really want to hang on to some hens. All of the hens. Flip, and good to go. Boop. Toss that back on the four-wheeler. Let's go take care of the cows. Contact. Not contact. Contact. Birdie birdies! Birdies! everyone. This is the scenario that I'm presented with, and I'm gonna say something that might not make everyone happy right here. Cows, although very sweet, can be very, very dangerous and are also absolutely not the brightest animal on earth. If you have kept cows, you know how frustrating it can be to raise these animals. Here's the scenario right now. It's going to be 91, 92, maybe even 96 degrees today. That's a heat index of over 100 degrees. With 84% humidity right now, the cows are a little bit warm. Well, right now they're being spoiled brats, and they're standing up here under this pine tree. And look, hey, hey, Mona. So they're standing under the pine tree, not doing anything. They're not eating, they're not drinking, they're not preparing because they don't know to prepare for the day's heat. Right here's the water tank. This will be slam empty at the end of the day when the well isn't pumping. So here's the scenario. I've got to entice the cows to come over here and mob around the water tank right now so that they'll drink prior to moving into this paddock right here. I have shade in two parts of this pasture, one right here and one way over there. There's not enough shade way over there. So what I've got to do, they've grazed into this section. I've got to take down a wire right here so they'll have access from here all the way to there. That's probably about 6 acres, something like that. Typically, I'm moving these cows on half-acre paddocks, half-acre to 3/4, even an acre. This is about an acre. They're on it for 12 hours last night. And again, I've got to entice them to come here and drink now because they won't drink during the middle of a hot, hot day. They won't come up here. There's some science behind keeping your cows within 400 feet of their water tank, guys. That science is super important because if you don't, they will mob drink like they're getting ready to do here. They will mob graze and they will mob drink. We want them individually coming to the water tank so that everybody gets their fair share of water. So that's a little water science. And you can see they're still not drinking. I don't understand it. But we got work to do. We're gonna be taking down this entire line right here, and it runs way, way down to the wood line right there. So let's ride down and we're gonna check each individual post, pull the post, and wind all that line in so that the cows get access to all of this. You're gonna see flies. I don't give my animals a systemic fly treatment. You're gonna see flies, that's all it is to it. Flies are a problem when they start causing health problems. The flies are very, very sparse right now. The way that I move these animals, we're gonna have some flies, but we're not gonna have a ton of flies to the point where it can affect their health. Now, we're gonna say the farmer's prayer that all these cows behind us here drink up. Like, they need to drink up. They can drink 5 to 10 gallons of water a day, and one of those waterers will service 150 beef cows. In order to take this line down, I have to get it off these posts. Some of the posts, I've wrapped them around a little bit tight, and we're just gonna lay our post right here on the front rack of the four-wheeler. Go, knock them off. These are called rhino grips. They work really good. Each one of these pigtail posts are about 21 feet apart, or 15 paces with my feet. Let y'all in on a little secret about North Carolina. You step in that, you better make it quick. Oh, this is how I connect up my fence. This is just a piece of PVC pipe. I'm gonna cut this wire right here so that I can reel it all back in. Every time I do this, I waste, I don't know, a foot of wire or something like that. Not really concerned with wasting a foot of this poly wire. Make sure there's no spiders in there to bite me. Cut that. Then we'll head back to the top of the hill and reel this entire fence line in. It just takes that long to do. What was that, 4 or 5 minutes? Trying to entice them cows to stay at that water tank for a little bit longer before we get them moved. Down here, I see something cool, man. I gotta show you. This is Eastern Gamma grass right here. This is a native grass, and it is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like corn. So it has tassels on it, and it has little tendrils on there, and it grows huge. This is what we want growing in our pastures as warm season grasses, and here is what the seed looks like. They just pop right off the top. Right there, it's an Eastern Gamma seed. Chuck it over there. Hopefully the birds will get in here and eat all these Eastern Gamma seeds up. You can see this is kind of a tassel, just like on corn. No seeds in that, but the seeds are further down. It's really cool. It's a native grass, and again, it is akin to a corn. It's a warm season grass, and we need good, healthy, warm season grasses to feed our animals. Let's head back up here to the water tank. You see where the cows have been hanging under this shade tree right here. We want to give them access to that one also. This is a little bigger shade tree than that critter right there. And there's another one over here that they'll get under. We got great grass this year. These cows are fat and happy. I just don't know they're thirsty yet. Uh-oh, looks like I missed one. There we go. There we go. So this is what we want. We want them drinking over here, but you see this one cow? She's being a bully. She is just being a pure on bully. She's drinking out of one, and if she sees another cow trying to drink, she'll knock that cow out of the way. I don't understand that cattle behavior. But that is something that cows do. They will bully and push each other. If there's one piece of grass out here in the pasture, every cow has to get to that same piece of grass. The same thing is going right here with these two knuckleheads. Like this cow is trying to push this one off of the water. Just drink your water and move on. It's a big time pain in the butt. Look at them. Why? Why, guys? Why are we doing that? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So this is the other end of our wire. We're going to go ahead and reel that in on our geared reel. Hey, man! Hey! That's heat stress right there. That's what they sound like. They start getting stressed. Even standing out here, 80-degree weather. If I don't do this, if I don't move these cows to a shady spot, they will not live. You've got to control heat stress. If you don't take care of your critters, why have them? You know what I mean? I have got to get them in a shady spot. With heat stress, they'll just lay down and they'll just never get up again. We cannot have that. And we see that happening a lot of times out here in these feedlots where these animals get super stressed and the heat indexes get over 100, and consequently they perish. And that is not what's going to happen on this farm. To the best of my ability, we got to take care of these critters. So I cut that line down there, and it's probably 400 feet long. Let's see how quick we can get her in. Come on, baby. Come on. Maybe I see the end. Awesome. Right. We tie a loop on the end of this. Little loop. Okay. That loop goes over this. Lock it down. Click, click, click. Pull it tight. It doesn't flop around. You can haul it on the four-wheeler without it coming apart. Let's get these cows moved over. Much as I'd rather them sit here and drink, they're just not gonna do it. That's just all it is to it. So, gosh, I hate that, I really do. Let's just get them moved. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There you go. There you go, kids. There are less flies here than there were 3 days ago, which means my interventions are working. I'm happy with that. Before I close this gate back up, I gotta ride back through the pasture and make sure everybody has gotten through. And here comes Donnie. Hey, big boy. Yeah, I see you give me an old stinky eye. I don't know. I still don't know if I trust him. There goes Tammy. Go, Tammy, go. Donnie has 3 flies on him, which is awesome. Again, most farms that you see, if you go up to a farm like this, a cattle farm, and you see no flies, you got fly tags in these cattle's ears, or you have a systemic fly block. In other words, they're eating something or something is on their ear, keeping them from getting flies on them. That is a systemic drug. I do not want to give my animals that. I think we can control it with movement, keeping them away from their manure, and bringing those chickens in behind them. So why am I moving the cows on a ½ an acre? You got 50 cows. What are you doing that for, Josh? Well, so that they eat a third, trample a third, leave a third. They've trampled this down. They've left manure out here. They've knocked the grasses down. I'm gonna come in behind them. I'm gonna knock the tops out of the weeds with the mower, and then it's going to recover so much quicker. This farm is much greener than my neighbor's farms. The reason it's much greener is because we're doing it this way. The cows grazed this, I don't know, about a month and a half ago, something like that, and it's fully recovered. So every time they come back through here, it fully recovers. Our goal is to have 90 different paddocks, so we get 45 days of recovery, and that will save us money, and that will produce more profit for the farm. That's what it's all about. Think about it this way. If the cows are eating 3 $50 hay bales per day in the wintertime, that's 150 bucks per day all year long. If I can just save them 10, 20, 30 days in the wintertime on residual forage like this, I'm saving myself a bundle of cash. A bundle of cash. So they're good to go here. Let's ride back through this field and check and see if we left anybody behind. Look at that. So they just tore that Johnson grass up right there. Folks, this is what you want it to look like when they get done grazing. You don't want it taken all the way down to the nub. You don't want this place to look like a golf course when the cows get done. You don't want to do that. When you're driving down the road, even if you don't keep cows, look out at these pastures that you see with cow trails ripping up and down through there, meaning little trails running all over, and the cows trying to eat off of grass that is nub high. It's like they could barely eat it. If you don't know, a cow don't really eat with its lips like a horse. A horse will eat with its lips, but a cow takes its tongue out and sweeps grass in. It sweeps it in like that. That's why they need taller grass. You can't have them out grazing it down to the nub. We need it to be about 6 to 8 inches. Underneath that 6 to 8 inches is moisture and worms and manure and carbon cycles breaking down. That's what it's all about, man. Well, guys, I thought I'd show you a little bit of fun here on the pastures this morning. Had to move the cows over to this section. Heat stress is real. How do you recognize heat stress in your cattle? They are panting. They're breathing really hard. Their mouths are open, wide open. Their tongue is hanging out with white frothy foam in their mouth. Sometimes there'll be drool, and if you don't know, cows are really drooly critters. They drool all the time. Their noses are wet. Their bodies are wet all the time. If their tongue is hanging out and their mouth is hanging open, or they're panting like that, that is a sign of heat stress. Early heat stress is the pant. Later heat stress is the tongue hanging way out of the mouth with froth all over their nose. And then really late heat stress, the cow's just laid out here. That is not good. That is nearly an unrecoverable situation unless it gets really cool at night or you can get some water on that cow pretty quick. Another thing I could do is set up a sprinkler system out here and move it around if it gets too much hotter. This is supposed to be the warmest day, and then it's all supposed to taper off from here. I can handle 90 degrees, but if it gets over 100, 102 degrees, I really have to take drastic measures. I have to completely change my grazing program, and I have to open up larger sections of pasture with forest in them so that these cows can get down in the forest, down on the creek bottoms, and stay cool. That's the main thing right now. The whole focus of summertime is to make sure the grass recovers good and the cows stay cool and healthy. Guys, I thought I'd bring you out here for a little pasturology lesson this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. We got butt fertilizer hanging out everywhere, all up in here. We gotta keep our animals moving. Some people don't think it's necessary to do that. It is absolutely, the proof is in the pudding. We are into July here now, and the hottest days of the year, and the grass is looking awesome. We have been getting great rain this year, and I appreciate you guys joining me here on the Stoney Ridge. If you got any questions, please post them down there. This is regenerative farming at its best here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. We're getting ready to put down a fertilizer product on this that's supposed to re-inoculate our soil and stimulate growth and the breakup of clay. I cannot wait. We'll see that in a future video. See you guys next time on the Stoney Ridge. Woo!
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge. Woo! Shut her down, Buford. She's sucking mud.